houses ancient miniature wood carvings depicting the everyday lives of the common folk. When conducting his tours, Dr. Ben always employs local guides to work with him. Farouk has been with Dr. Ben since 1980, working in the Aswan area.
Did you see many tour groups with people of African descent before Dr. Ben?
No. I have seen, it only was, so individuals like 2, 3 in a group, but not like what, since Dr. Ben started, we saw the African Americans in Egypt, and that was exactly the time, and when was exactly was also the ASCAC was the biggest group ever in 87. So the people in Egypt, no one, everyone just, they don't know about the African Americans until Dr. Ben started his groups in Egypt. Maybe majority, I mean, the common people in the country, in the village, they don't know anything about until Dr. Ben started his groups to Egypt here and his tours to Egypt.
Does he teach a different perspective of the Nile civilizations than the usual?
Well, yes, what he is, it's a kind of what all the Egyptologists study, what is the books and what it's published and written from the 18th century, since that time. So there is a same one track. And I say now, when is the Dr. Benz and the professors, they started to open a new way of, study, or so this is something different than what it's written, what the archaeologists or the tour guides studied in their own way. So
you mean one is a European perspective and Dr. Ben is an African perspective?
Exactly, yes. Yeah.
A lot of people say that all of this was not built by people of color, that this was all built by whites. Dr. Ben seems to be saying something different.
Well, it's what is the meaning by white or the color? We are in Africa, so Egypt is Africa.
Shawky works with Dr. Ben in the Luxor area.
How long has this gentleman been working with you?
Years. I am a guide 14, but I worked with Dr. Ben 12 years.
12 years?
12 years.
How did you meet him?
I saw him in the monument in the Valley of the Kings once a year, and I listened to him when he talked to his people, and I sit with him, I visit him, and I like his way, what he's doing with his people. And I am a Nubian, part of Nubian, you know.
So I see.
I am Nubian, Egyptian, Africans.
What is it that you liked about what he says to say?
Yes, because I like history, I am interested. So he's big official, he's big professor, and mention about ancient history, about Nubian history life in Egypt.
He emphasizes the Nubian.
Nubian, so I love Nubian people, and I wish to be Nubian forever.
You will be.
Yes.
By the way, many years ago, a humble Egyptian village along the Nile named Daboud offered what little food and drink they had to Dr. Ben and his tour group that had become stranded because their bus broke down. Ever since then, Daboud has been part of Dr. Ben's tour. He always doubles whatever his tour group donates to Daboud. There is, in fact, an ongoing tug-of-war on the question, what did the ancient Egyptians look like? What color were they? Western culture has been more than a little fuzzy about this. In school, most of us learned about the pharaohs and the Sphinx, but not much about who built them. And with the face of the Sphinx blown almost away, it really wasn't clear, although I must admit that as a kid, I personally always wondered about that Sphinx's head.